Hey guys, Heavy on 45 here. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed y'all 4th of July yesterday. Mine was another work day for me. I still had to work, and then when I got off work, my family called me, asked me if I want to shoot fireworks with them. Now, there ain't no kids in our family, it was all adults shooting fireworks. Uh, but it wasn't as interesting as last year where I saw people literally shooting fireworks there. But it was still cool. You know, I like shooting fireworks in the air, not at people. But that being said, after that, me and my sister watched while eating pizza Jumanji. And she explained to me Jumanji, Back to the Jungle, and the other one somewhat. She told me the premise of it because I kind of got confused on how a board game became a video game. But she made it very clear, and maybe one day I'll watch them. But looking at the board of Jumanji, uh, I realized something. Jumanji is the shortest game that you can play. Like, it is one of the simplest and shortest games there was if you look at how everything goes in the Jumanji game. Um, I've played Monopoly, I've played Life. I think I even played Sorry one time. Um, I think I've played Mousetrap too. But out of all them games, I've never won a game in 5 rounds. If you really look at look, I play Yu-Gi-Oh too, but that has nothing to do with board games. Um, but if you look at the game, it's built for 4 people. But between if you have 2 people, as long as one of them can make it to the end, you're good. Now, these people are rolling 2 dice, and out of 2 dice, that means that if you're lucky, you can do 12 steps. So literally, that's a game that you could win if you, let's say you had got doubles somehow. You could probably beat the game in 2 turns. But the reason the game is so long though, isn't because of how long it takes you to roll. It's dodging all stuff that comes out when you playing. Cause if you look at the movie is about, let's say, almost 2 hours long. And within those 2 hours, or just about 2 hours, you see these people like run away from giant mosquitoes, run away from a stampede, run away from a lion, a hunter, um, man eating plants. You see them running from all this stuff, and rarely do they get a chance to play. Like when the stampede came, there was a pelican, I want to say, that came and took the game away from them and took it with him. So they had to then chase it around that way. So and that took them literally all day to do that. But in if you're able to defend, and like let's say, and really the game of Jumanji is all about, and the board game part of Jumanji is all about you not being prepared for what you're coming into. Like, you don't know anything about the game, and that's literally where a lot of the problem comes at. It's like, okay, we beat the game. What in the world we don't do now? um, and that's the issue. What do you do after you beat the game? Like, literally, you go back in time to when you first start playing the game, of course, but because that's another issue right there. Now I'll go ahead and get to right now. Now, in the beginning of the movie, you have 2 people back in, I want to say, 1960, 1964 or something like that. Because they come back in 95, and he says it's been about 26 years. So I'm probably am off. Yeah, I am. But you know, they start. Yeah, I'm off. Um, But within that time, when they get through playing the game, they come back and everything's like nothing happened. But the kids don't. But the kids don't remember them. It seems like they're talking to the parents and stuff, but the kids don't remember because I guess because since they didn't play the game this time, the game's not with them, and so they don't have to remember what happened when they started playing the game, which is still weird. But that's besides the point. Uh, the whole idea of Jumanji though is not being ready for. You're just saying that you're finna play a regular wooden board game. Everything's made with. Why is these things suddenly sticking on here? All I did was accidentally drop them, and it got 2 players ready and set up for it. So it's like, why in the world would I play this game? Because you're interested in it. But why in the world also would you think that this game would suddenly have like creatures actually coming out? So if you knew, because like let's take right now, if somebody was knew that there were actually a Jumanji game out there that was real, that actually would do something like that, you would probably find it on Reddit, 4chan, Google, YouTube. Now it wouldn't matter if you put on YouTube in any of these, because after you got through playing it, all the stuff that happened will go right back to the beginning, so you would never know that you play. Or somebody could say it and you would think they're crazy. And then, because like I say all the time, if we want to know something nowadays, we'll just go ahead and look it up on our computer. Because why? That's what computers are made for. Computers are made for us to find that information. So all of a sudden, like, I found this game called Jumanji. Have you ever heard of it? No. Let me check my phone and see something. There's a bunch of people that said that it's real. Oh, it's not real. And the more and more people play, the more and more you'll get information about it. Because think about it. Let's say that I played the game. It took me 2 years to get through the game. When I go back, I went back 2 years. So all the stuff that would have been screwed up because of what I did suddenly goes away. So I write something about it. What do I do with the game then? If you do like they didn't, I'm gonna throw it into the river. It gets someplace else. Like, so let's say from where I'm at now, it gets to Texas or something like that. So now Texas gets it. Somebody in Texas gets it. They write a blog about it. Then somehow it gets to California. Then it comes back to DC, Washington DC or something like that. So you have all these people within the same 2 years time spans that I did. Suddenly you got a 4chan or Reddit talking about, have you ever played the game Jumanji? And people talk about what happened, and people like replying onto that. And think about it, several people could play this game, because this game was always so. It's the disbelief of it actually happening that really catch people off guard. If you're sitting up there with a shotgun in your hand, waiting for something to happen, with shells all wrapped around you, and next thing you know, you see that alliance will be coming, you like, well, here I go. You just don't go ahead and start having your gun ready to shoot. And you probably would take out a lot of people. Like, let's say Van Pelt in the first movie came after you. Well, you would just go ahead and like take him out in the beginning, because he's gonna attack you anyway. And would it be murder? Not exactly murder, because yes, you just killed the man. But yes, you just killed a man that was inside of a game that once you win the game, or somebody wins the game, it won't matter. So them 10 years you could get for killing a white man won't matter, because he's not real anyway. Killing a lion, you're not gonna get in trouble for that. Plants all of a sudden growing up in your house, you suddenly got weed eater waiting on them. Weed killer. My point is that the first Jumanji movie was based off of people not believing that this is real, first of all, because Sarah Whittle told everybody about it, but no one believed her. It literally was just her word against everybody who's like, you're crazy. even though all of a sudden a high amount of bats started living around this city, and I don't know what. Then on this one day, all these animals came out of nowhere, and no one could explain why everybody getting stung by a giant mosquito that apparently big enough to kill you and have basically noses hard enough to break through glass. So imagine what would happen if it hit your body. Like all of a sudden, you got a cracked bone, possibly a broken bone, because this one mosquito decided to stab you in your neck to drink your blood, and he went too far and started, instead of getting blood, getting bone marrow. I'm sorry, that's too being too realistic with that stuff, because this game is already a loot. But prep time, be Batman, be prepared for anything. Like, what's this Jumanji game? Man, I seen a lot of stuff on Reddit about that. That's a game you be like, man, I don't want to play. Or you can be real country and white boyish and be like, hey, let's play this game. This sure be a good thing. And yeah, I just figured I ran about that a little bit. I hope y'all had a good 4th of July, and I'll talk to y'all next time.